Sis, they don't pay you enough to be this miserable. Okay? If you are experiencing the Sunday scaries, and the Sunday scaries feel more like a full-blown panic attack, if your job is draining your joy, if it's dimming your light, if it's burning you out, if it's breaking your spirit, it is simply time to quit. It is time to go. It is time to plan your exit like your life depends on it. Because you know what? It probably does. Staying at a toxic job, as far as I'm concerned, just for the paycheck, just to pay the bills, it's like drinking poison just because you're thirsty. And nobody in their right mind would do that, right? Now, look, you've got options. And as I always say, options equal freedom. And it starts with a plan. So nobody is telling you to jump ship today or leave right now, hand in your resignation letter and give notice today. But you gotta make a plan to leave. Okay? And that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode, because you don't realize it, but you're tired and afraid, and maybe you do realize it. Okay? But whether you do or not, whether you kind of like put this in the back of your mind or to the side or whatever, what you may or may not realize is why you're tired and why you're afraid. But I'm going to tell you that right now. And that is because you have built this job to become a part of your identity. You now define yourself by the title, the job title, right? By the badge that you wear, by the routine, the job description. You're used to the structure. It's familiar territory. You have structured your whole life around your salary and your job title and the security, right? The so-called security blanket. But now your body is breaking down. And now your mental health is on the edge. And every Sunday night feels like a funeral for your freedom. Your body will keep the score for every single sign and symptom you choose to ignore. And it is a choice because your body is talking to you and you're not listening. I need you to start listening to your body. You need to make the brain and body connection and start listening, because every time you don't, it's just going to get worse. Your body's going to break down more. Your mental health is going to take a toll, and you're going to wait for it to be too late. So I need you to take it very seriously that you are absorbing all of that energy, that negative energy, that toxic energy, and it is accumulating in your body. And it is draining the life out of you, and you deserve better. Okay? So the key warning signs, by the way, and what I want you to recognize and pay attention to so that you really know it's time to go, it's what's already happening to you, right? The constant fatigue, the dread that you feel, the GI upset, your nervous system is in shock, right? You might be having anxiety, bouts of depression. Maybe you're eating more than you should be because you're eating your emotions. Maybe you're starving yourself or not eating enough, right? Maybe you don't even realize you're doing that necessarily. You're sleeping longer than you should. You have no oomph to get up and really go and do your thing and do what you enjoy anymore. Nothing truly feels satisfying because your job is weighing heavy on you, on your spirit. Your soul is feeling empty. There is a slow leak there. And nothing you have done so far can fill that hole because you're not addressing the real problems, right? You might be having panic attacks, sleepless nights. If you're experiencing insomnia, that's really, oh, that's an ongoing cycle for sure, right? Because you're waking up in the middle of the night and you try to go back to sleep. And then by the time you get to sleep, it's time to get up and go deal with that job again, that toxic environment. You're feeling like you're betraying yourself by staying. You're daydreaming about quitting more than you are doing your job. It's all you can think about. It's all consuming. You're thinking about it in meetings. You're thinking about it when you should be doing work. Like in the midst of you doing the work, you lost yourself in your daydream. Right? You go to the meetings and you tune out. You don't even hear what they're talking about. It sounds like, and I'm dating myself, but back in the day, if if you're a Gen Xer, then you would know the Charlie Brown talk, right? It just sounds like womp, 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 womp. You don't hear a thing because all you think about is how can I get out of this hellhole? How can I make my escape? What do I need to do to get out of this nightmare? So I want to offer you my step-by-step exit plan. It is my leave method, LEAVE. Okay. So this is where I want you to take out something to write with, or just watch this all the way through. And then, because I want your full and undivided attention, then you can come back, rewatch the video, and take notes at that time, because I really need you to listen on how to leave. Okay. So that is the first step, actually. The L stands for listen to your body. Your fatigue is your feedback. Everything that your body is going through and feeling right now is your sign. That's the first letter, what in the acronym as to what that means, and that's your first step. Listen to your body. The second letter in this acronym, in this method, is the E, right? And E is for evaluate. You're going to evaluate your finances and your risk tolerance. And so I know, trust me, I do. I was a six-figure earner in corporate America. I made a high six-figure salary. I know all about the good pay, the great benefits, the whole compensation, the perks, the bonuses, all the things. And you get used to living a particular lifestyle that job affords you. However, do you really need all of the niceties, or can you bear down to just the necessities? That's where you need to be when you evaluate your finances and your risk tolerance, right? What are your survival numbers? What can you realistically do away with? Do you really have to have all of the subscriptions? Do you really need all the handbags and the shoes and the perfume and the clothes and all the things, the trips that you're taking? Do you really need to do it as often? I know we need an outlet. We need to, get out sometimes. We need to treat ourselves. We like to be pampered, the massages, the spas, the hair and nails did. I get it. But does it have to be as often? Can you just switch things up a bit? Go less frequently. Figure out a more basic hairdo, a more basic, do your own nails, or if you want them done, can you just get the manicure? Do you have to get the extra stuff, all the extra designs and the acrylic nails and the dips and the whatever, all the things, right? Can we just tone it down a little bit for a while? Okay, it's not going to always be this way. So evaluate your finances and look at your numbers and figure out where you can actually, like, if you're making 10K a month at your job, can you be okay with 5K a month? I mean, 5 to 7. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what is required? Like, what's going to pay the bills, keep a roof over your head, put food in the fridge, gas in your car, you know, and afford you a few luxuries so you don't feel like you're depriving yourself. But how much can you do away with that is not a necessity right now? Let's keep what we need, add a little cash cushion in there for a few things that we desire, but let's put the rest of that money aside because we're making our escape plan. Okay? Wanted to spend a little more time there because finances are like the biggest concern most times, especially for the women I work with. You know, we just come from that school of thought, right? Gen Xers. We don't want to lose that good paying job with all the benefits and stuff, but sometimes less is more. The third thing is align. Okay, that's what the A stands for in lead. I want you to align with your bigger vision because your job is just your temporary assignment to prepare you for the bigger work you are here to do. Okay? Your permanent work is not your job. Your job is just keeping you over broke. It is keeping you just over broke. J-O-B. Okay? That's not what we want to do. We want to thrive. And you're only going to be able to work at a certain capacity in your job, in your career. You know, you're not, even if there are advancement opportunities, are you really fulfilled after having gotten those promotions? Like once you climb the ladder and you reach the top, you know, when you look back down from the top view, is it really what you imagined it would be? So if it isn't, and you've hit that proverbial glass ceiling, then what is it really what more can you do in the corporate arena, right? How much higher up the ladder can you really climb? How many more degrees are you going to pursue? How many more credentials do you need behind your name? Do you really need another certification and license? Like, okay with the status already. Are you really happy? Is your soul really satisfied? Because if not, then why would you subject yourself to this kind of environment? Right? So align with your bigger vision, with the understanding that you going somewhere higher. You're going to reach higher grounds, unimaginable heights. You're going to go further. This job is holding you hostage, is holding you back. Start journaling and dreaming. Journal what you dream of instead of dreaming and fantasizing at work in your meetings and while you're supposed to be working. Why not take the time, like dedicated time, to get still, get quiet, and get clear and write out what you really dream about in your journal? How about that? Right? Set up a therapeutic environment and just dream and dream of a place that you've never been before. Don't say it's too big of a dream. Don't even think that way. Just think about where it is you want it to be. What are all of the possibilities? And if money was not an issue, and if this job was not even a part of the equation, what would your life look like if you had your way and could live your first class life on your terms? That's what I want you to align with specifically. Okay. So use journaling and use coaching. a life coach, a business coach, a holistic business coach, right? Therapy. These are all great ways for you to get in tune and in touch with where it is you really want to be. Forget about the how for now, because you're going to get help for that. Right now, I just want you to focus on what you really want. Okay. And then the V stands for validate. I want you to validate your skills. What are the transferable skills you have right now? What do you already know? I always say go with the lowest hanging fruit. All right. You're going to take a piece of paper, you're going to take pen to paper. Okay. I want you to write out all the things that you know how to do. I don't care about right now if you like it or not. You could love it or hate it. We'll figure all that out later. We're doing a brain dump right now. We're just getting it out of our minds and onto a piece of paper. I want you to decide, what do you already know how to do? What is your skill set? What is your God-given gifts, your talents? What did they hire you for in corporate America? What made them say yes to you, to bring you on board, because they saw you as a valuable person? You are the most valuable player. You are an asset to the department, to the company. What are the things that people ask you about that you're great at, that comes easily and natural for you? Write all of those things down. If you don't know where to start, as far as how to package yourself up as an industry expert, as a leader, as someone, like if you're having a confidence issue and you feel like, but what would I do? Where do I start in business? How do I even know how to make this all happen? I always say, start where you are. Work with what you have and do what you know. That is always the best place to start. Okay, so validate your skill set, validate what you already know. Okay, and you don't have to go any further than that. You don't need to. Not right now. Like let's not overcomplicate things, because you know how we do. High achievers, we're overachievers, we're perfectionists. We have that type A personality. Be ambitious, be bold, declare what you want and go after it, because you are that boss chick, and that's what boss chicks do. You are a legacy leader, and that's what legacy leaders do. They go for what they know, they go after what they want, and they don't stop until they get it. Period, point blank. Validate your skills, create your escape plan, get a bridge job and or a portfolio position to help you over the hump, to help you make that smooth transition. And if you don't know what a bridge job or portfolio position or career is, I did a whole video about that a few weeks back, okay? So you can type that in, or I'll make sure it comes up at the end of this video for the next video to watch, or it will be in the pin comment or the description box, okay? You can find it either way. Like there, I gave you a few choices there, but go and watch that video, because I go into depth about what they are, why it's important, and it's a great way to add, a great thing to add to your exit strategy, so that you can seamlessly exit your job. Okay, so this is a great way out of your career. And then so I left off at V, then the E stands for execute. Okay, execute, execute, execute. No need to have all of this good information and not do anything with it, but don't do it alone. You need support. Okay, you need support. You need community. You need a mentor. You need a business coach, life coach, somebody who's already paved the way, who's already has the experience, who can shortcut your way to success in a sense by letting you know what to do and what not to do, because they've already learned the hard lessons, so that you don't have to repeat their mistakes. Get in community, get the support that you need to expedite your success and to get to where you want to go quicker, faster, and sooner. Okay? Now, before we get any deeper, if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. I want to know where you are in the journey and what is hitting those heartstrings today, what is deeply resonating with you, and what aha moment have you had so far? And by the way, if you're getting from value from my video today or any of my episodes or content as you peruse around my page, do binge watch my content, by the way, okay? I'm sure you'll find something here that's applicable to where you are in the journey, and that's what I'm all about. I'm motivated by where you are in the journey, and I want to help you with right where you are right now, okay? And I want to be able to take you from where you are right now to where it is you want to be. So if you're feeling my vibe and you want to be a part of my tribe, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss a single episode whenever I drop new content and or go live. All right, so let's get back to business, all right? And let's get back to what we're talking about. Here's what I want you to know, because I've been right where you are. I really and truly have. That's how I can speak to this so clearly, like I've been there, done that, honey, and I ain't going back, okay? That is a promise. I am committed to my transformation and to changing the trajectory of my life and that of my bloodline. I am truly a legacy leader, a boss chick, for real, okay? And I want to help you get to where you want to go. And I can remember what you might be feeling like right now. I remember when I ignored the signs and the symptoms. I kind of brushed them off. I excused them for something else, right? And I did that for far too long. And that's harmful. We don't want to be a danger to ourselves when we are already in a dangerous environment, right? That's double danger. And so I realized I was staying for a paycheck, staying for the good benefits, staying for the perks and the bonuses, the prestige. For what? And because I was using my employer as my investor to fund my dream business, I had a valid excuse. I had a lot of valid reasons, right? Even sometimes I would guilt myself into like tripping myself up, right? Into believing and convincing myself that I can tolerate this. It's not so bad. It could be worse. So many others have it worse. So many would trade places with me in a heartbeat. Like I did all of this schooling, I pursued the degrees, I got into debt, I neglected my family, I sacrificed so much, I made it to the top, I finally got that good paying job. Now you want to leave? Girl, are you crazy? Like I had my own voices in my mind that was speaking negatively to me, right? That was kind of dumbing down and dimming my light and making me second guess myself, even though I knew my true feelings. And of course, I had everybody around me who was like, you make the most in our family. You make the most in our friend circle. Like, why would you go through all of that just to leave? And so you feel guilty about it, right? And so and I know it seemed like I was such a huge success from the outside looking in, but inside I felt like a failure because I was failing myself. Do you know what I'm saying? Are you there right now, or have you been there? So, but the thing is, once I left, I realized that the cost of staying was far greater than the risk of leaving. And so I had to finally get to a place where I betted on me. I couldn't listen to those dialogue demons, as I call them. I had to get those devils off my shoulder. I had to get those people out of my ear. Even though they meant well and they loved me, they couldn't see the vision that God had given to me. And I was committed to my creator first, because God created me to be here for something greater. I was designed for more. I had already reached my capacity in corporate America. Okay. And no, it wasn't all bad. But when we're talking about a toxic job in a hostile work environment, that is always bad. And so once I left, that shifted everything for me. And once you leave, it will shift everything for you. But first, let's use my leave method to devise an exit strategy. Let's mark the calendar. Let's set a date, mark the calendar, and make it happen. So what right now, the action step I want you to take is to book a Freedom and Focus Clarity call with me. This I want to assess your situation, okay, and map out your next best move. Figure out what's really in alignment with, your core values. Where are you now in the journey, and where do you ultimately want to be? I want you to make a bold and big, brilliant move, a soul aligned move. Let's get on a call and let's strategize and map this all out for you. And the bonus will be that you either get on a call and you just need one-off support, no problem, no pressure. But if you want a deeper transformation and you want to work together, I want you to enroll in my Legacy Leaders Lab. That is my 30-day intensive. It is a private, premium group coaching program designed just for you. I'll talk to you all about the details on that call. And if you decide to enroll 14 days from that call, I'm going to give you a gift, okay? The cost of the call will be applied towards the cost or the investment of the program. And if you enroll, or even better yet, if you book a call within 48 hours of watching this video and you mention this video on the call, I'm going to give you a little something extra special, okay? I'm not going to tell you what it is, because if you're like me, you love surprises, and I love surprises. So let's save that one for when we actually get on the call. So that's some incentive for you to book right now, okay? I'm only taking about 6 to 8 calls per week, okay? Because I already have other obligations with my paid clients now, excuse me. And so I want to make sure that they get my full and undivided attention, and so do you. So I also want to make sure I'm taking care of myself and not maxing myself out with all of these calls. So it is limited and it is for a limited time, but let's get you from where you are right now to where it is you truly want to be. Listen to your heart, follow your heart. Don't always follow the logic that's in your head, okay? And so if you're interested in the Legacy Leaders Lounge, or excuse me, because I do have a lounge, that's my membership. We'll talk about that in another video. The Legacy Leaders Lab, my 30-day intensive group coaching program. This is for high achieving women over 40 who are ready to escape burnout and recover from all of that. Unsubscribe from hustle culture, right? And build a business that aligns with your purpose, your power, and your peace. All right. So it's not just about the money, although, and I know they say money don't buy happiness, but let me tell you what, it damn sure gives you a lot of options. And options equal what? Freedom. And freedom gives you what? Happiness. So indirectly, yes, money does buy happiness, okay? So it's not just about the money though, right? It's really about reclaiming your life. And it's about holistic success. So I want you to get on a call with me as soon as you can. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait for it to be too late. Okay? I'm very serious. I care about you, and I want you to prioritize your health, your healing, and your happiness from a whole and healed place. Let's find that happy place for you again so you can live the rest of your life as the best of your life. All right? Now, that's my time. I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to share this video out with at least 3 friends and watch the next video that YouTube recommends, okay? As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.